I haven't been kissed like that in a long time.
Glad you enjoyed it. So why don't we continue this at my place? What?
Naughty boy. I don't go home with men I meet at bars.
Oh, so you're the dating type.
I didn't say that.
So?
So don't be so eager. My car's in the parking garage. Why don't you walk me there?
Okay, sure.
Hi, I'm Anna Wright for the Gig Spotting Network, and I'm here with Kathy Sandvoss, a local actress in the Charlotte, Fort Mill, Rock Hill area. And she's here to talk to us today about her career, past, present, and future. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us.
Well, thanks, Anna, for having me on the show.
Just to start off, what first got you interested in acting on stage or in film?
Well, I've been acting since I was a little girl. You know, I ran around the house with a tape recorder. That's probably my first bit of acting. But then in 4th grade, I did my first play, and I got real involved in acting in high school and college. And I had a couple of hiatuses with work-related and family-related where I took a long break, and I've been back into the film part of acting for about 3 years pretty steadily.
Okay. Now, as far as your college and everything, did you go to school for acting or theater, or?
Well, I went to a few summer programs before college, like in high school, North Carolina School of the Arts and Governor's School. But then I did I double majored in theater and psychology in college. Mm-hmm. I went to Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida, and then I graduated from Wake Forest.
Okay. Now, as far as psychology goes, it's at least got to be a bonus when you're trying to get back into acting. I
hope so. I hope it's somewhere deep in my psyche. I feel like a lot of what I learned before the past 3 years has been useful, but a lot of what I've learned in the last 3 years has probably benefited me the most as an actor. And the psychology, it was fun. I don't use it too often, really. It was a fun major, really fun, cool major, but I don't use it too often.
Okay. What projects, I guess most recently, have you worked on? What do they involve? And I guess, from that, what kind of roles do you like to do?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start with what projects I've worked on. I've been pretty busy the last 6 to 9 months, and I'm actually having a bit of a break, which is nice because I have 2 little boys and a husband that would like to see more of me. But I think the biggest project I was recently on was a faith-based film called Find a Way. It's part of Mueller Productions. Cornelius Mueller is the producer and writer, and Burgess Jenkins is the director, was the director. Peyton Lee was the director of photography. Great project. I had a pretty good role in that. I was considered that character that everyone likes to play, the witch, rhymes with witch with a B, but she evolves. So it was her name's Pam. It was a nice role. I like to play all different kinds of roles. I also in the summer was in a short called Debris. That was an interesting project, and I was basically a mother in that. I played a soccer mom for Redemption of the Commons this summer. I was in a Billy Graham movie called My Hope. I don't know that there is one type of role that I like to play. There are some roles that I haven't had the opportunity to play. I'll tell you something else. It's been a while, but I did do a couple years ago something called Respawner, and that was a lot of fun. I was Sweet Vicious, and that was a villainous character, and kind of sexy and mean, and just the, you know, the badass woman. I like that role. I really do like that role. I like powerful, strong women for sure, but I'm not opposed to playing someone who is a little weaker, shyer. That's okay with me too.
Okay, great. What kind of things are you looking to get into, or do you have anything coming up?
I have a few projects coming up. Nick Black wanted me to give a shout out for Spore. That's coming up, I think, in about a month. He's the director on that, and I hope to be working on a film called Absolution with Roger Franks, and there might be some other things, but I don't have anything major. I'm not as busy right now. I have two little boys, 6 and 11, and school hit, and my schedule filming slowed down, and I'm kind of grateful because they need a little more of me. I am wanting to do more commercial work. I've done some commercials, and I think I still have a Comporium commercial running in York County. And tomorrow I'm filming an industrial, so I want to, I want to just keep doing a variety of projects, and certainly I still want to keep doing the independent films. I would like to get on one of these major television shows that have been shooting around here. That would be really nice, Homeland or something like that.
That's great. Now, you mentioned industrial. For those who may not be familiar with it, give us a little bit of background on what that is, and what kind of the idea that it's not just film and maybe like Broadway that you can get into as far as acting.
Well, an industrial is usually a nice opportunity to get some money for your acting, as opposed to some of these independent films where you don't usually make as much money. An industrial can be a training video. You can be a spokesperson. It's usually an in-house film that's going to be used to train the employees or teach something, maybe a business ethics type thing. Sometimes the industrial can be used for the internet as well, like a web-based marketing tool. Okay.
Now, so that's a little different than just your straight film acting.
Yeah. But it can be good. It certainly can be interesting. You can have some real acting. It can be dry at times too.
What other kinds of endeavors have you tried to get into aside from maybe just film, any print or anything like that? Yeah.
Well, I've done some voiceover, which is also in the the spectrum of acting as well. But I am somewhat of a fitness model, and I was in Oxygen, a featured fitness model in Oxygen magazine in January, and I would love to do some more of that. I have some people I'm talking to. I don't think there are a lot of opportunities for fitness models around here, but I am definitely interested and searching for them and pursuing them.
Okay. As far as like Oxygen, and what kinds of things do fitness models get into? Like what's the field that you're looking for?
Oh, okay. Well, for me in particular, I'm not a bodybuilder because I'm still an actress, and so the type of fitness modeling I would be doing would be sports clothing, gym equipment. It could be swimsuits. So it's more of the magazines that would carry a fitness model with my type of figure would be like Shape magazine or Fitness or Fit magazine. Like I said, it would be more like Dick's Sporting Goods, Nike. That's the type of fitness modeling I would be doing, as opposed to your more competitive fitness models that are more like bodybuilders.
Okay. Now, in this, you kind of do this. Is this like secondary to acting, or do you like this as on par with it?
Oh, well.
Find yourself being conflicted, you know?
No, I don't think I can be conflicted because there just aren't as many opportunities for fitness modeling. And so it's just another part of who I am, you know, it really is. Actually, I've always been really, really involved in fitness. I started teaching aerobics classes back in high school. I ran cross country, I was a cheerleader, so I was already really involved with it. And then I have an actress friend, Anna Marie Gatto, shout out to her, very talented. She's one of those people that's multi-talented, and she was really encouraging me. Actually, when I was pregnant with my first or second, I can't remember, maybe both, she kept saying, you've got to get into fitness modeling. You could be one of those fit pregnancy ladies or whatever, you know, Fit Pregnancy magazine. And so I kind of credit her, and then there were some male friends of mine that also encouraged me in the last 3 years. And so that's, you know, how it happened. But that's the long answer to your question. I would love to do more fitness modeling. It's fun. I would love to do it also because I want to inspire women that aren't in their 20s, because I'm obviously not in my 20s, to know that they can attain that level of fitness. I'm about to pursue my personal trainer certification, and maybe having a little more time I might be able to do that. I've just been way too busy to really do that. But film and acting is probably my #1 interest, and that's my, you know, that's what I do mostly as a profession.
Okay. Now, when you're taking time off to spend it with your family, tell us a little bit about them, and also balancing the acting life and family life.
It's tough. It is tough. Well, I'm fortunate that I am full-time mom, wife, actress, fitness model. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. That's my job, and so I balance all of it the best I can. And sometimes that means saying no to projects, for sure, because family comes first. And what I've done lately is I had a really busy period, and I kept telling my husband, I promise that I will start saying no to projects around the time that school starts. And that's what I did. So that's kind of how I balanced it. So it was really crazy in the spring and summer, knowing that my family would have more of me at this time. The fact that I don't have a 9-to-5 job helps me balance it too. And my husband has some flexibility, and he's very supportive. So that's how I do it. And yeah, family's always priority.
Now, when you find that things conflict, either family or projects, do you ever have rollovers? Do you ever have to say no?
Sure.
You know, how do you determine which projects to say no to?
This is an ongoing discussion with us actors. Is what projects do you do? What projects do you say no to? And I look at each project. And each project is, I determine whether I'm going to do it based on how does it benefit me. Is it paying? If it's not paying, is it a role I haven't done? Are there people involved in the project that I want to work with that I haven't worked with before? Is it a lead role? If it's not a lead role, but it's a smaller role, still it has to further my career. And sometimes there's opportunities that I might not take if different people had offered them to me. Say I worked with a director before, and he or she is doing another project, and it's a project I might not be crazy about, but I really like this person. I liked working with them, and I want to help them out, because supporting each other is real important in this business, and networking. And so I might do the project for that reason. But saying no to a project, I have to sometimes say no to projects because my time is important, and if it requires travel and I'm going to be away from my family and I'm not getting paid, those are the projects that typically get the no's. If it's convenient, and it's a good project, and it fits into my schedule, I'll say yes a lot of the time. So each project is different, and I can never tell you for sure until I see it in front of me whether I'm going to do that project. Doesn't matter whether it's a big role or a small role. I have to see the whole project and all the pieces that are involved to decide whether I'm going to do it or not.
Okay, and you mentioned, like, you know, helping the director out or something like that. As far as community, are you a member of any of the, like, Charlotte film?
Yeah. I love the Charlotte film community meetups. That's a great opportunity for networking. I love the camaraderie. I love the support. I love my film friends. It's like I said, it's a great support system. A lot of times you're working, and you don't see some of the other people except on Facebook. It's so nice to see them in person. It's real, you know, when you see them in person. So yeah, and the Charlotte film community offers opportunities to meet different people and also learn what else is going on in the biz in town.
Has it been beneficial? Have you ever found, like, projects and anything from the meetups, or, you know?
Yeah, I think it's taken a while. I think when I first got involved, it was mostly informative and social, but I had to, you know, even though I've been acting since I was a kid and pretty seriously since I was in college, when I came back to the film biz 3 years ago, people didn't know me. I had to prove myself. So not right away, but yeah, I think it's definitely benefited me now.
And just based on that, is that something that you would kind of at least warn people trying to get into the industry of, you know, it does take time, even if you're not out in, like, Hollywood or any of the, quote, big places, you know, it does take time, and even whatever community you're in. You know, kind of what advice is along
What
that?
advice would I give to someone just starting out?
Any advice at all?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Well, oh gosh, I have so much advice for them. Well, you know, the first thing I would say is don't be discouraged, because it does take a while to get where you want to. It's just like anything. You start playing the piano. If you're brand new to this business, then, or the drums or whatever, it's going to take a while before you are playing gigs or being in films. So the first thing is take lots of classes, work with different acting coaches, because when people ask me, like, what is your technique, what do you do, I take a little bit from everyone I've worked with, as far back as working with people in college and high school to people that I've worked with recently. It's all helped me to develop my style, my own personal Kathy Sandvoss technique. And my technique, whatever it may be, changes from project to project too. Depending on the role, depending on what's required of me. So anyway, back to advice for new actors. Take a lot of classes, network, and learn what's going on. Get involved in the projects at any level, and just keep at it. I also would say learn from people that have been in the business a while. Talk to them, because I find that some new people have some unrealistic expectations maybe, and they need to have those expectations to be a little more real. But on the other hand, I will say, at least in the commercial side of things, you know, not independent film, but maybe the commercial side of things, a new person can get into that right away. They have the right look, the right personality, and they can be successful pretty quickly. And there can be people that are pretty good actors that have been around a while, and that may not be their forte. They may not be booking in that line of work. That's another thing that leads me to another thing that I want to tell new people. Don't try to figure out the casting. it is impossible for us, those of us that have been around for a while, to understand it. You can't get in the director's head. Just do the best you can. Be as honest and truthful as you can be in your performance or your audition or whatever you want to call it. That's the best you can do. That's all you can control is your own audition. And bring your best, leave it behind, move on to the next audition, move on to the next project, because you just don't know what they're looking for. And when you do go in for an audition, take the feedback. If the director gives you some feedback, take it and do what the director asks. And that's the best you can do.
Fantastic. That's great advice, I'm sure.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, this is advice that we as actors that have been around a little bit continue to tell ourselves and each other. You know, it can be a roller coaster. You can be up 1 minute feeling really high because you're booking a lot of stuff and enjoying a lot of projects, and then it can stop. You know, and then you're feeling kind of discouraged, a little hit to your self-confidence, but that's just part of the business.
I see. You're more afraid of her than she is of you. She's not a little girl anymore. She knows what she's doing with that man and with you. I won't have people talking about me behind my back. Do you understand? I will not have people talking about me. They come and tell me things. I know what you do with that man. Everybody knows. Now you tell me. You tell me, what are you doing in there with that man? Answer me!
He listens to me play.
Stop mumbling. Speak up. What do you do with that man?
Someone to hear me play.
No. I want you out of here, whore. I won't have a whore living under my roof. Stupid girl. Stupid little girl.
Let her alone, can't you?
I won't have a whore living in my house. I won't have a whore living in my house. Do you understand me? You stupid little girl, I will not have a whore living in my house. You go and you find out. Nobody give you nothing.